Viento del Cine hemos venido al estreno del Matrimonio de María Braun, de Thomas Ostermeyer, que viene desde la Schaubühne de Berlín. Vamos a entrevistar al director y al actor Sebastian Schwarz. Good evening, Sebastian. ¿Cómo surgió el participar de manera estrecha con la Schaubühne, compañía con la que estás desde el 2007 con el montaje de Tommy? How did you get involved in a close relationship with Schaubühne, the company you have been working with since 2007 with Tommy?
Yes, I was at the acting school actually, and they searched for one who play in Benedict Hauptrich's Tommy, and they want another colleague of mine in the acting school, and they say Thomas Ostermeyer wants to see a play. It was Othello, a work we did at the acting school, and he involved it to see the other colleague, but then he see me, and then I get a role, and that was the starting. And in this time I do a play in the Deutsches Theater, and then I go straightly to the Schaubühne and be a part of it since 2008. Since 2008 I've been a member of the Schaubühne. Before in Tommy I was a guest.
¿Qué sentiste cuando te enteraste que ibas a formar parte, ¿no?, del elenco de la obra del Matrimonio de María Braun? What did you feel when you found out that you were going to be a part of the cast of The Marriage of Maria Braun?
Thomas did this work in Munich before, and the idea was to play it with our ensemble, with the Schaubühne. And then he asked me, and I saw the original version of him in 2008. And I always was a fan of this work because I sit there and think that's really great theater. They play really good. They really good show, really good directed, and so it was never a question to be a part of it because I want to be a part of this production because I love it and be really proud of our work there.
¿Conocías la película previamente? Did you know the Fassbinder film previously?
Yeah. Sí, claro. I know that piece, but I never looked at it in preparation of this work again because it's not good for an actor to. If you see this is a masterpiece, and if you see it, you always think when you rehearse it, oh God, how could we be good like that? I don't know, and so don't feel the need to look at it again. But I saw it years ago, yeah.
Interpretas 5 personajes en esta obra. Háblanos un poco de ellos. Tell us about your characters in The Marriage of Maria Braun.
In the first thing, I'm the man of Maria, Hermann, who is involved, of course, in the Second World War, and first get lost, and Maria starts to live without him, starts her new life without him. And then I play the best friend of her, Betty, which is a woman who's typical for these days, a woman who always put the whole power in her marriage and in the private life, never work really, and it seems that she's a little bit jealous of Maria's, how do you call it, feminist way, the feminist way Maria grows up as a woman and make modern steps, which she's not able to do that, I think. And that was a jealous friend, if you like think that. And I play a waiter not a waiter, I think it is a waiter, in a restaurant, the right word is the waiter, and he's a little bit like this, a little bit dumb, but he always try to be the best. That's my character. Yeah.
Okay. ¿Cómo se enfrenta un actor precisamente a eso, ¿no? A interpretar en una misma obra 5 personajes? How does an actor face 5 different characters?
Well, I like that. I like. This is what I most like about this show. That you can change, this is wonderful. In one part or one piece, you change your character, you change the whole lives, and this is what I really like about Maria Braun, because you switch easily between different lives, and I think this is one of the reasons why it is such a success.
Has participado, en varias producciones cinematográficas y de televisión. ¿Qué es lo que prefieres? ¿Cine, teatro, televisión? ¿Con cuál te sientes más lleno? You have also taken part in various film and television productions. How was the experience? Do you prefer theater, cinema, or television?
What I like about television is that it works very fast. They work very fast, and I like to be a part of something which is always in the move, and that's what I like about television. Theater is the completely contact to the people. That's great. That's wonderful. That's what you don't have when you stand in front of a camera. But and between cinema and television, I don't know. It depends always on the project. I would say it depends always on the project. If you do cinema, television, or theater, you can say what's better. It depends on what you do. And I have done wonderful things on television, I think, and really bad things. And I also had bad things in theater. So it's not always the same, you know. Depends which director you have, which text, and everything. So depends on the project.
And comedy or drama?
I play a lot of comedy. I play a lot of comedy things. Mostly in television things and in cinema I do these funny things. But really, as an actor, you like to do both. So and I always like to be switching, and I like to be a murderer on the Teatros too. So also depends which project you do.
Thomas Ostermeyer precisamente combina esas dos, ¿no? Comedia y drama, por ejemplo en Hamlet. Thomas Ostermeyer combine drama and comedy, for example, in Hamlet.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. But you know, you if you play, you don't think about it, the thing if it's comedy or not. You get a text and you get to a situation, and most dramatic situations are funny because somebody has a problem. And if you go on the street and see that somebody gets a problem and you look like he had shit on his shoes from the dog, you know, it's funny. But for the person itself, it's not funny because it smells. And so it's funny to watch it. And that's what it is with the comedy thing or with the drama thing. You play the situation, and if you have the luck that it's funny, it's funny.
¿Qué sentiste precisamente con el rol en Hamlet de Horacio? What did you feel with Horacio in Hamlet?
You know, it was my first role my first big role in a Schaubühne, first big production. I did another production before. It was The Cut from Ravenhill with Thomas and Tommy, but it was this really big first thing. And I was a student at this time, so it was hard to recognize everything. So, okay, that's theater. Okay, that's how it works and everything. So I need time to involve, to be a part of it for myself. So, so I remember this work as a very tough work. We do tough work because at this time the Schaubühne wasn't so successful like we are today. So it was another pressure on it. But I learned a lot. I would say I learned a lot, and yes, after 266 shows, I say it's enough, and ask Thomas to get out of it. And I have the good times and not so good times at Hamlet. We toured around the world. I see a lot of countries. I was in Australia, South America. We were everywhere with it, and this was the great thing about one of the great things about it. But I learned how it works, how theater in this dimension works.
¿Qué sientes como actor cuando al finalizar una función llega el público, se acerca y te felicita? What did you feel as an actor when at the end of the show, part of the audience comes and congratulates you for your work?
Yeah, you're proud and say, okay, thank you, and a little bit ashamed, of course. In fact, you remember the bad reactions more than the good reactions. I have one time I was with a colleague of mine after Romeo and Juliet. We do with Lars as a director. Lars Eidinger was the director, and I go out with Regine Zimmermann and we play. It was a crazy show. I love it really much. It's one of my favorite work. And an old couple, I think they were 70 or 80s or something like this. They come and look at us and say, "Never Schaubühne again," and spit on the ground. And I was totally shocked. I always will remember this scene. This was also shocking. And I think, oh God, what? It was funny too. So I remember this bad thing when somebody came to you and said, "Come on, you can't play. What do you do there?" This is what you remember. And the good things, you are proud of it. But I say, okay, down to earth. It's our job. Thank you very much. And try to not to show up or something.
¿Cómo es la experiencia, ¿no? de trabajar con gente como Lars Eidinger? How is the experience with work with Lars Eidinger?
You know, at the first time when I started in this business, I start with a movie, and then at the acting school, and then come to the theater, and I work in movies and in television, and also on stage with big names. And the first thing is you learn a lot of the older ones, like Josef Bierbichler, or Angela Winkler, Kirsten Dehne. They were teachers for me. And Lars was, when I met him, a partner. So I really not recognized Lars in the first time when I was a student and I loved Schaubühne. I was always there, but it was not my main actor. My main actor was Robert Bayer, who's also a part of this production. I loved him. He was a hero for me. And I was impressed and to play with him. Now we play 18 shows together, so we are playing a lot together, and I love him, and he's really one of my best friends. But I was always impressed, and you need to go up this impression, and you learn a lot, and you see a lot of this. Nina is wonderful in around. She's such a great partner, and she's the best actress we have in Germany. You can say that in cinema and theater, she's one of the best. And you feel it, and we have an energy together, and it was great. But, you know, it's work, and I love my work, and hopefully and thankfully most people which I work were great, also big names, and it was good to work with them, and we have a good time. And this is the most important thing about it, I think, to enjoy our job, because it's a gift that we can do.
Justamente ahora, en 2018, te has incorporado al elenco de Retorno a Reims. ¿Cómo está siendo esa experiencia de estar todos los días detrás, además de una pantalla, muchas veces a lo largo de toda la performance? This year you have joined to the cast of Return to Reims. How is it? How is the experience of working in a studio behind a glass window most of the parts of the performance?
I saw the premiere with Hans Jochen Wagner, who did my job before, and I like the show because what I really like about it is not the setting or something. It's cool. It's another thing like you do otherwise on stage. But what I really like is that it's a political play, and it's a very important play in times where we live today. About this right wings thing we have also in Germany, you have it in Spain, also you have it in Italy, you have it in America with Trump and everything. And so it is a really important point. We said that we are a political theater, we do political theater and join debates, and that's good. And with this work Thomas joined a political and social debate. That's really important about this.
¿Recuerdas alguna anécdota curiosa que te haya pasado en escena? Do you remember any curious anecdote what happened to you on stage?
We have a show in December in Paris with Professor Bernardi. We play, and at the last show the light goes out 3 times, and we always start the scene again 3 times. The light falls out. This is a situation where you think, okay, that's why we are playing theater, because it's live and you have to handle it. Other thing was also at Professor Bernardi in the beginning of this year, a woman collapsed, and she gets, how do you say it in English? She in the show, and we asked with these white costumes, with these doctor costumes. Is there any doctor in the house? Like this. This is a strange situation where reality meets fiction. That's great.
Okay. Esta noche y mañana estrenáis aquí en Teatros del Canal. ¿Qué esperas del público español? Tonight and tomorrow you have in Teatros del Canal. What do you expect in the Spanish audience?
What I like about the Spanish audience when we play here in Barcelona with Hamlet and we never play here, I don't know, not in Madrid. And my movie, Best Friends, God Best Friends was here. They're really enthusiastic. They really love art and they really love theater and movies and really interested in our culture. And that is a thing we can learn about from the Spanish people, because I have the feeling, especially in Berlin, most people are really fast bored and say, okay, we know what you do. And this is not what you see here with the audience. The audience are always interested on what they do on stage and take a part of it, and that's what I really like about Spanish people.
Artista de referencia que tengas de cualquier especialidad. Referent artist of any specialty.
I got one artist I really love. It's a film. Choose. It's John Goodman. It's one of my favorite actors, and what I like about John Goodman is that he plays theater, cinema, television. There are no borders, and that what we have to learn in Germany is there are no stereotypes. You know, he plays such different roles in such different medias, and that's great. He's comedy and drama, and that's what we need because you are really fast in a corner. They say, okay, this is a comedy actor, so he cannot play this, and you can try everything. You can try it. Don't know if it fits, but you can try it, and that's what John Goodman do. And I like these people. Like Jeff Daniels is also one of them I like, and I think Nina done it in the past. She tried a comedy. She tried everything, and she's really good. And that's a proof that we should do it, because it's our job to not to judge. Television. I don't want to do it. No, to be a part of everything what we can do in this job.
¿Cómo convencerías, cómo animarías a la gente para que os fuese a ver en el Matrimonio de María Braun? How will you encourage people to go and see the marriage of Maria Braun?
Because you see a part of German history. It's a part of our history, a part of Germany's history after the war, and you see a modern woman who done her way, who go her way, and be true to herself, you know, and find some solutions to make her life better in hard times. And this is very modern version of women today also, and much more in these days. We talk about in our play at the late 40s and beginning 50s. And that's why you see good people on stage. I think it's a good work. We play together, and it's comedy and it's drama, and we try to do a very colorful show, I think.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much
tonight.
Thank you, great.